do you expect from them in terms of their selection and their sort of game plan to counteract yours?
Look, I think they'll pick a pretty settled side. So they've got a couple of injuries, but we presume that Sexton will be fit and available, and they've been playing a type of game that's been very successful for them, that's why they're third in the world. They've won 10 games in a row, so we're under no illusions what we're expecting to receive on Saturday, and we've just got to be able to cope with the pressure that they put on us.
And Sam, how's it for you personally reaching that line?
I actually haven't thought about it till you asked Warren that question, to be honest, this week. I guess I'd much rather take a win over Ireland, and I might be able to enjoy it after the game, but I don't think until after the game I probably won't look back on that sort of landmark really, and appreciate it, because I'm so focused on getting the job done on Saturday. But like I say, I haven't really thought about it. I'll always put the sort of team first really, because we're still in the championship. All my energy and focus will go on to that really, as opposed to records and things which they're not material, but I guess in the grand scheme of things it's not as important as getting a victory on Saturday.
Warren Gatland said just now in the press conference and last year that he was surprised in that game in Dublin how much they kicked at you. Is that something that you're expecting this time around again?
I think if you look at the last games they played, they've gone to the air quite a lot. I think it was like 44 times in 31 minutes to go ball in play, which is quite exceptional, a lot of time kicking. I don't think they'll change their game plan massively, but as much as they're a kicking threat, you look at the strike power they've got in the backs, and I think if you switch off for 1 minute, they'll take it to us really.
And not that it's developed into a grudge match, but it's certainly a huge game given what's at stake, and so many players on both sides play each other week in, week out in the Pro 12.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't think it needs to big up any more than it is. I think it's a massive game for Ireland, obviously going for the Grand Slam as well, and I think for us it'll just be a great test match here in Cardiff.
Challenge under open skies or a closed roof?
It's open. I think that we've taken the decision really that it needs to be open. We wanted to know, sooner rather than later, and I think we've taken the decision now it's going to be an open roof. I think that the weather forecast is pretty good for the weekend, and it's something which we look forward to, but we wanted to know that the roof was going to be open, so we've taken that decision.
Well, Ian Francis had to say this morning, I'm sure you've seen it, I'll go to the specifics of it, some of it's quite derogatory, but one of the points is that he was questioning Warren Gatland's coaching intelligence. Is that fair?
I think the wonderful thing about rugby is that everyone has their opinion about how the game should be played, about the personalities within the game. When it becomes personal, I think it becomes very disappointing. I think the game is bigger than that. I think it's a player's game, and for someone to have a individual criticism and a personal snipe on someone who has won a Lions series, been involved in Six Nations Grand Slams and championships, it's just very disappointing that it happens in our game.
Everyone seems to be talking about an aerial battle for the back three in particular.
Obviously Ireland know such a variation in the play. If nothing's on for them to play, they obviously put a few bombs up. So we'll have to work hard at that, which we have been during the week. But if it's on to play as well, they like to chuck it about. So have to combat that as well. So they've got a plan A and they also got a plan B. So we have to match them in both departments.
Is under Schmidt, this Irish squad, is it the best Irish squad you've come up against?
Well, they're on a bit of a roll at the moment. I think it's 10 on the bounce. I think winning, isn't it? So that in itself is speaks volumes. It certainly from the outside looks a very happy camp. They got 100% clarity because they play with such an intensity, and they're up to third in the world rankings. I mean, if you base the decision on that, then the answer ought to be yes. This is quite a formidable Ireland team, and we're going to have to be at our best to come close to them tomorrow.